What up, Jew? What's poppin', my boy? All right, we got an interesting one. Damn, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my shit was just going crazy. Um, my fucking laundry cycle just like went off the racks. All right, now that I got past that interruption, let me restart that. Um, the day we've all been waiting for. Derek Moneyberg. He also goes by names like Derek Tummyberg, I've been hearing. I like the term Derek Dummyberg, so whatever you like to call him. The day has finally come. He finally got confronted on his bullshit in person by none other than the people's champ, Sean Strickland. A lot of people want to go ahead and down Sean Strickland's name, but it's like, hey man, sometimes, we don't deserve this guy. If not Sean, who else? Who else would have said this stuff? And the great thing is Sean didn't even really go into, the whole black belt controversy. Spoiler. He just went straight for the jugular as far as allegedly Moneyberg being a scammer. We can talk about some of the things I've heard. But the main thing that I think we all know is that Moneyberg pays UFC fighters to come on his platform, and then it's like an appeal to authority. He gets these UFC fighters on, and he feels as though there's some validation, right, between him speaking to these guys. And so he takes that and uses it to sell courses, essentially, about how to make money and reach financial freedom, right? And so that's where Sean's coming from. He's like, you have these fighters on, you pay them, you use their name, their platform, right, their hard work to go ahead and peddle your little stuff, and then it's like an appeal to authority. If you never had them on, nobody would really listen to you. But you're creating this scenario where you have these guys on, and you're quote unquote teaching them, your ways. So, and then they sit there and like, okay, yeah, oh wow, amazing. Like, great to know. I didn't know any of this stuff. When really, what are they going to say? They just got paid to sit there. And so that's not even scratching the surface of the whole black belt thing. Without further ado, though, man, look at the hero right there, the people's champ, Sean Strickland. Without further ado, would I out-grapple Moneyberg? Well, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Moneyberg looks kind of big here. He looks kind of big and menacing, doesn't he? Sean Strickland even said it. He's like, I think he said, big and strong guy. Something. You'll hear it when we play it. But, you know what? I wasn't expecting Moneyberg to be this big in stature next to Sean Strickland. So, I still think I would out-grapple Moneyberg based off what I've seen, though. I'm standing by it. There's no way this guy's beating me. Ain't no way. Okay, so let me just read the little dialogue, and then we'll get into this whole thing. But this sums it up a little bit. He's just basically saying, look who I ran into. Moneyberg says, why do I call him a scumbag on the internet? This man takes advantage of low-paid UFC fighters who are great men just trying to make their mortgage and live their life. He takes advantage of these men, and he uses their platform to peddle financial scams, and he sues people. What he does is so dishonest and so scummy. You are a fraud. You are dishonest. You fraud people. You've sued people. That's why I got to be careful with my words here, because he has sued people. I will never peddle his shit to you guys because I love you guys. Financial advice is easy. You won't use my platform or my name to peddle your shit to my followers. Ain't happening. Go scam somebody else. Sean gave low-key fire-ass financial advice, in my opinion, which is hilarious. If he's rich, why he ain't fixed the hairline? Shit. I think it's a part of his gimmick, if I'm being honest. He's going to say, like, oh, I use it for engagement. People talk about me. So, what's it called? People talk about my hairline, so I get more comments. That's what I bet he says. Complete cope. He looks like he might eat someone. I mean, he looks kind of big. You know, Derek Moneyberg looks like a guy. I don't mean to. I'm gonna just say it. You know, because why not? My thoughts on Moneyberg, looking at him here. Moneyberg was like that clunky kid, you know, in school, who maybe wanted to be on the football team, maybe wanted to be on the wrestling team, but he looks like a clunky guy. You could tell, you know, he just didn't have it back then. Now he's older, got some money, hopped on some roids. He's feeling himself. But hey, you don't got it, buddy. You don't got it. I can see it in his face. All right. He said he's 7% body fat. He's got too much inflammation in his body to be 7%. I'll say he's 15, and that's being generous. That's being nice to him. But it's like, just take off the shirt, bro. Let's just see it. Shit. Take off the shirt. We could have a way better judgment, but I can see it right there. That's why they be calling him Tummyberg. You can see it. This man, black belt in 3.5 years. That's what they say. Okay, let's watch the video.
Crazy enough, guys. Look who I ran into. This guy's real big, real jacked. He says, why do I call...
This guy's real big, real jacked. I'm not going to lie. Look at him. He's looking somewhat kind of big here. This face, bro. Oh, my goodness. I could just see this face inside someone's house. Like, this is a crazy face right here. And you can't even hold me on that. Look at that face, bro. That is fucking... I'm shook. That's like 40%, and I'm not being mean. To be honest, based off his arms I was judging, that's why I said 15%. When I look at his tummy, when I look at the little chest right here, I can see it. I can see it through the shirt, bro. Even in the black. Even in the black. He's like 25. I'm not going to go up to 40. I'll go 25, though.
I'm a scumbag on the internet. This is why I asked. And again, you could say...
So you got to do that for camera. You can't have a private conversation like an adult. You can only do things for the internet. You can't have a private conversation.
Because what I have to say is factual, and you guys...
It's not factual.
So you guys, let me tell you why I don't... Would I like to get free money from this guy? Yeah, sure. Would I pay me...
I want you guys to see something, just to kind of... Don't want to interrupt this video too much, but let me just say this. Apparently, Moneyberg walked up on Sean here, okay, asking him why he calls him a scumbag online, right? That's what happened here. Two things, I think. Well, mainly just one thing, I think. Moneyberg, he's a sue-happy type of guy. Maybe he came out here, right, looking to egg on a loose cannon like Sean and get him to assault him, right? It would just play into his whole little thing he's been playing up, right? His whole little character. Sean goes ahead and whips out the camera, okay, starts filming it, because he had the foresight knowing Moneyberg's got a podcast. Moneyberg's going to come out and be like, I confronted Sean Strickland in person, and he didn't say anything. So Strickland, before that could even happen, fucking comes out, pulls out the camera. If you look a second ago, Moneyberg didn't have the elevator going, right? As soon as Strickland pulls out the camera, he hits that elevator button.
It's not factual.
So you guys, let me tell you why I don't...
See that? So the elevator's coming now. This guy's backing out. As soon as Strickland pulled out that camera, this guy's hitting that fucking elevator button. He's out.
Would I like to get free money from this guy? Yeah, sure. Would I pay me money for...
But Sean, when I just asked you, hey, have a conversation...
Well, you asked me why I called you a scumbag.
Then you need to have your camera. You can only talk on the internet.
But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I called you a scumbag.
Only on the internet.
But I'll tell you why I called you a scumbag.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag right now.
No, I'll tell you why.
I'm saying it to your face.
I'll tell you why.
You're the one being a fucking scumbag. I'm saying it to your face. So, you know, either he's really just like on it, right, and about it, or like, you know, that little saying right there, I'm saying it to your face. That's totally egging on, you know, vocabulary. I'm saying it to your face. What are you going to do about it, right? I'm saying it to your face. He's challenging, you know, Sean's manhood, and Sean's not biting on it. But that's just telling. I think the verbiage he's using, it's a little telling. I'm saying it to your face. You know, that's what he was planning on telling Sean. Like, I'm here saying it to your face. You say that I'm a scumbag on the internet. He was planning on being like, here I am in your face, right? He was planning on that shit. I think he came in here trying to catch a lawsuit, you know, put Sean Strickland in a trick bag, egg him on. Low key.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag right now.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag, cussing at him.
I love my fans more than anything, you guys. And would I love to go take free money from this guy and peddle? Yeah, would I love to make free money from this guy? I would. I absolutely fucking would. I fucking would love to. But this man takes advantage of low-paid UFC fighters who are great men who are just trying to make their mortgage and live a life. And he takes advantage of these men and he uses their platform to peddle financial scams and he sues people. And what he does is so dishonest and so scummy that no, I will not. Just because you're nice and you shake my hand and you say you're my buddy, no. You are a fraud. You are dishonest. You fraud people. This is why you don't want to be on camera, because you know everything I say is true. You've sued your people. I will never peddle his shit to you guys because I love you guys, man. Financial advice is easy.
The thing is like if you go on this man's podcast, right, as a UFC fighter, the whole thing, it's not really even talking about their fighting careers. It's trying to teach, you know, people how to reach independent financial freedom, if you will. So Sean knows that if he goes on this guy's platform, he's going to have to like co-sign, you know, the shit he's peddling. And then he's going to use Sean's name, right, and Sean's little likeness, right, and the videos that he gets from the podcast. He's going to use that and put it in a course that he sells, right? Or he's going to use that to sell the courses, you know, that he charges an exorbitant amount of money for. Like hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands. So Sean's just basically saying, like, look, I'm not going to do that because then I'm liable too for basically convincing you guys about Moneyberg's ways.
It's easy. Invest in solid mutual funds. Have a high yield account. You can buy individual stocks, but it's risky. I wouldn't recommend it unless you really pay attention.
I mean, that's great fucking advice. Like, it's crazy. And this is the next fucking fire advice he's about to give. But real quick, just to repeat that. Mutual funds, like the S&P 500, he's right. What up, Scott Snyder? What up, homie? Mutual funds, he's right. High yield savings accounts, highly underrated, bro. That shit's where it's at. Especially if you have large lump sums of money, that's where it's at. Individual stocks, you know, you can. There are some great ones out there. There's no doubt about it. But for the average person who may not have the time or knowledge about companies like that, that's why you just go mutual funds and then you go high yield savings account. Now, Strickland's about to give you another piece of advice for free, which is actually fire. I never heard this, but it makes sense.
Real estate also risky. Your best real estate investment is going to be your first house when interest rates are better.
Because you get a tax break when you purchase your first house. And I think there's something about like maybe like I think that's it. A tax break or something about the down payment or something like that. But you get a big break on your first house, which saves you a lot of money. So that's why you get to capitalize. And but aside from that, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about people saying like buying houses isn't like super, you know, positive as far as an investment goes. But buying your first house where you get a big ass discount, I think it makes sense. It's called like the first time buyer's discount. Something. You get something for it. Again though, Sean dropping truth bombs over here. Where else do you hear this shit from? My man Sean. Hate him all you want, you know, he's edgy. We're going to get into what he said about Colin Kirk. I think that's his name. I don't want to get his name wrong.
But you are a scumbag and you're a fraudster. And the fact that you can't have this conversation on camera because you know everything I'm saying is true. And you won't use my platform or my name to peddle your shit to my followers. Ain't happening, dude. Go scam somebody else.
So yeah, I mean, we pretty much assessed all of that. Moneyberg, he had it coming, man. He had it coming. He manifested it. He's been online talking heavy about his black belt in general. He's been just egging on all this stuff. We don't even talk about, his online courses that he sells. I mean, go watch Ronan MMA's video about Moneyberg. He does a way better job than I could ever tell you. Ronan MMA, shout out to him on YouTube. But yeah, Moneyberg sells these courses, and then like he forces you to do your homework, and then apparently like the homework you got to do, you got to pay for. So it's like you're having to pay even once you do the courses, right? Once you pay to get in, you're still paying just to get through the course, and then let's say you miss your homework assignment, that's mandatory and you have to pay for. If you miss it, then or a certain amount of times, then he drops you from the course. So he just took all your money. You miss 1 or 2 assignments, whatever it is, and he drops your ass. So any excuse to kind of like just like not have to deal with that, anymore, he'll take to just drop your ass. So it's not super genuine. You can look into that on your own time. But this is great. Once again, I love it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Moneyberg says on his dumb podcast that I won't watch, but I'll watch the clips. Hey, appreciate it, Scott Snyder. Appreciate it, brother. Very much. Thank you. There's more. Since we're on the Sean Strickland topic, we might as well do the Bryce Mitchell and him reacting to... Oh, I called him Colin Kirk. Charlie Kirk's assassination. So we'll go with Strickland first.
With me, but
before we get started, I mean, am I from Cali? Yeah, I'm from Cali. See, Pete, I'm from Cali. Southern California. What was I gonna say? This whole Colin Kirk thing, I mean, I wasn't too familiar with the guy. This is what I'll say. I was not too familiar with the guy's work. I mean, like, I seen his face, like, a bunch of times, and I knew he was, like, edgy, but I didn't really know about, like, his whole college campus debates and stuff like that. I watched a couple of them because he was just at San Diego. That was, like, his latest video he posted on his YouTube channel, and that was kind of, like, it was already at 1 million views. I liked him, personally. I thought he was a open-minded guy. He treated the students kind of fairly nicely, to be honest with you, even if he disagreed with them. I mean, I did think he was a little bit annoying about the whole birthright thing. Not birthright, that's the wrong word. Abortion laws and stuff like that, and tying it in with religion. It's all fine and dandy. But I just thought he was super stubborn about it and wasn't willing to hear some other points. Like, if a woman gets, unconsensually fertilized, if you will. So he's still like, no. Like, just because one person does a wrong to her, now she's got to do a wrong to somebody else. And it's like, well, I mean, shit, dude, I don't know. Like, what if she doesn't have the money and stuff like that? Like, there's a lot to it. Like, what if she got a life to live, bro? And, like, she had dreams and aspirations, and now her life's ruined. But he doesn't like to talk about that. Pro-life. Yeah, he's pro-life. Which is fine. I mean, it's fine, but he's got a real hard stance on it. And, it does seem to be, for the sake of debating, right, and arguing, what I did pick up off that is his stance on pro-life. That's the stance you want to choose if, like, you want to win a debate. Because it's, like, unpenetrable. When you use the whole God fucking argument. It's unpenetrable. They tried. So yeah, just say that to say, not super familiar. I watched the guy's videos. I didn't think, like, based off that one debate I watched, I didn't think he, deserved to be killed. But I have seen, like, a video of him talking, like, what did he say? He was, like, saying, he called a China or an Asian person the racist slang, right? That's the video I've been seeing. So obviously, he must have, like, more of an edgy background, which happens with all media guys, trying to make their name. So I judge it from a different viewpoint. You know, sometimes I don't think it's super authentic at times when people even do shit like that. They're doing it for likes and attention, you know? And so what I focus more on is like, do you really mean that shit? Is that who you are? And I saw him, how he was treating people, you know, and that's a good telltale of who you are, is how you treat people. And that's only a clip I saw, so I don't know if he got egged on with some racist, you know, rhetoric before that, calling him like a cracker or something. Who knows? But anyway, rest in peace to this man. Looked like he was on a campus tour because he was just at San Diego. Then he's at another campus the next day, and school's back in order now. So, you know, I thought that this was actually a cool thing. Last thing I'll say, I thought this is pretty dope, personally, how he does this. Like, I think it's dope. I think it, you know, maybe moves forward the, you know, America a little bit as far as discussing some of these controversial topics. So I'm all for what he was doing. Definitely didn't need to be killed. Shit, I mean, I guess I got more to say. What they're saying, that something about Palestine and, you know, he was in Israel's pockets, this guy, for a while, and he started going pro-Palestine, and, you know, people are saying that they offed him. Allegedly. Is that the conspiracy out there? Because that's what the conspiracy sounds like. Anyway, I think that's all I got to say. Let's go ahead and watch Sean Strickland's reaction to it. Low-key, man, Strickland and Bryce Mitchell, you guys all love to hate them, but these guys, when in moments like this, I mean, these guys deserve to be on like Mount Rushmore of MMA politics. There ain't nobody even close. Let's see. Drew says there's a couple different, I'm assuming, conspiracies. That's definitely one, though, as far as the Israel and the Palestine shit. Again, I don't know anything about Kirk, so, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, spewing out what I've been hearing. Nice C-piece from Sacramento. Shout out to 209. Or, well, you know, Stockton is 209, but wherever C-piece from, shout out Sacramento. Honestly, Strickland showed a lot of restraint by not smacking Moneyberg after he called Sean a scumbag. Yeah, called him a scumbag, said he's saying it to his face, and called him a effing scumbag too after that. Pro-life, that was ignorant. A victim should get a choice. Yep, I'm with you on that one. That was like the main thing I disagreed with him on, but other than that, I thought he was fair for the most part. Yeah, I would have to agree. I thought he was fair. I like when he goes after the students about like the whole college debate stuff. Like, is your degree worth it? I love that debate. My theory is he talked shit on LeBron and Bronny sent the shooters. Damn. I know nothing about that. Oh, actually I do know, because I watched that debate at the campus and he's with MJ. MJ's the GOAT. He said LeBron lost 6 finals. MJ lost none. Brother, it's definitely Israel. That's what they're saying. That is what they're saying. And you know what? That's the root of all evil. That whole, not Israel. I'm not going to be out here saying shit like that, but that whole debate with Israel and Palestine, that's the root of all evil right now. The root of all evil is that right there. And the next to that is money. But what do you think is fucking driving that whole thing? And then we're in the middle of it financially. Oof. You know, I wasn't... okay, I'll react later because Bryce Mitchell made me aware of something I didn't know about before. I'm going to read these last comments and then I'm going to start the video. Strickland, not afraid to confront people, so have to respect that. Have to respect that. I didn't even like him that because he was for Israel. Then once he changes, he dies. Just being honest. Yeah, I mean, shit. I'm going to look more into this, Gerald. But that's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing. Seeing a lot of comments like that. Okay, let's watch. And the people reveling in his death. I mean, my goodness gracious.
Alright guys, I'm gonna ramble on for a sec, bear with me. But I'm on Twitter and somebody says, hey, did you hear that Charlie Kirk got shot? And my gut reaction was like, no, I fucking didn't, but I'm excited. like I felt this little dopamine spike in me where I'm like, dude, I want to see the video. And then I seen the video real bad, but
So my man was excited. A lot of people are gonna go ahead and pick him apart here, But he's gonna go on to say something greater, which is that America, he may be a representation of America. If he's feeling this emotion of excitement, wanting to go see this, what's wrong with America? Why is he like this? And he's kind of saying maybe a lot more other people are like this too. Why is that? So he's almost proposing a question when he says, I got excited. He's not just saying I got stoked on it, I was loving to see it. He's like, I got excited, and that's fucked up. And why is that? So, let's hear it.
I was still kind of excited from it. Like, oh shit, like I could feel like my muscles tensing. And then I started thinking, man, well, what's going to come from this? Was a shooter black? Was it a liberal? Am I going to get more fun? Am I going to get more violence? Let's burn this motherfucker down. I need some excitement. And then you start thinking, man, like, how the fuck did I become such a sociopath? Like, how am I so disattached from human beings? When people walk down the street, I don't even see people. I just see potential threats and problems. And then I think about, like, this is the last news cycle. We watched a girl get stabbed, murdered on a subway. We're watching little kids get pulled out of buildings because maybe somebody launched a rocket off of it. I don't fucking know why. But we are so desensitized and we're such sociopaths. It's kind of sad. I was walking through a park and there was a homeless guy with a dog, and the dog had a tennis ball in his mouth and dropped it at my feet. And like it was terrible. I wanted to fucking hit the homeless guy and take his dog home.
Now these are the things I'll just say. Like a lot of like Sean, I think thinks that people like he is like the common man, and like when he says something like that, I mean, dude, nobody really thinks like that. I think that's a pure reflection of the trauma he's been through. But literally admitting that you saw a guy walk in front of you and his dog dropped something, and you thought of like the craziest extent you could go to, which is to like knock the guy out and kick the dog's ball or something like that and steal the dog. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, like people don't think like that, bro. That ain't America hasn't done that to you, bro. That's your upbringing. I'm gonna just be honest. But he does have better points, but I found that one troubling. Like, listening to that, I'm like, geez, dude. Like, geez. Oh, that's a little off right there. I mean, this is nothing new. He says he fantasizes about people, giving him an excuse to do shit. And he wants an excuse because, he's thinking about that shit even without the excuses.
It's like the saddest thing I've seen all day. And I just watched a man get murdered, and that was exciting. And I have to ask myself.
He is like the movie American Psycho. That's his favorite movie.
Like, how did we become a generation of sociopaths? And then I think about the 90s, and I think about the early 2000s, and I think about the second Iraq War, and I think about how the government, linked up with video games to make Call of Duty, and we would stay up until fucking all hours of the night with our friends shooting each other. Guns are cool, war is cool, death is cool. And like slowly they just manipulated us to be sociopathic consumers, and the only thing we want is stuff and things. And it's so sad that we let these people ruin America, and it's like taking the soul from us. They took God from us, they've taken everything from us, and we're just mindless sociopathic consumers. I don't know how to fix it, but I don't know, man. It's sad, it's frustrating, it's just sad.
So to simplify that a little bit, here's the paraphrased quote right here. The government manipulated us to think guns, war, and death is cool. We let these people ruin America. They took God from us. And then he's essentially blaming the government for turning America into desensitized, sociopathic consumers who glorify guns, war, and death. So he believes we're all desensitized and sociopathic, and it is true. Like he has points. Like maybe the Call of Duty and shit had like some other purposes. Like I mean, I thought I was just playing a fucking video game, but I mean, maybe it has radicalized kids to feel normal as far as like shooting people. It didn't do that to me, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Now, I think one of the bigger things he's talking about, though, is that the government's always going to feed us, problems and then present, solutions in front of our eyes, but they're actually not presenting problems. They're creating problems, right? And then they're presenting solutions in front of our eyes to make us become consumers. And it's just a slippery slope, I guess. So that's what he doesn't like. The disingenuousness, the lack of truthfulness. And I guess he's a big believer in God now. So that's a good thing. But, I mean, hearing Sean say that they took God from us is interesting. Yeah, I know. I played shooter games. It didn't really do shit to me. So, I mean, I think what Sean said is, like, profound a little bit. But it actually wasn't as profound as what Bryce Mitchell said. I really resonated a little bit more with what Bryce Mitchell said. But maybe Sean has a point, as far as people, right, being desensitized to this type of violence, finding it normal, and not really caring, just moving on, right? We moved on past the Trump thing pretty quickly. So maybe that's what he means when he's calling us sociopathic consumers. Like, we saw it, on to the next, nobody cares, maybe. Bryce, yes, LOL, God, Strickland, we will see. Play Mitchell's take. I think he's right judging how most of the internet took Kirk's death. Yes, there's been a lot of support, but there's been a lot more of insensitive comments. Maybe, okay, so he's maybe referring to the insensitive comments. I'm glad Jew shared that take. Okay, let's go to Bryce.
I'm so upset about Charlie Kirk's passing. I can't really go to sleep right now. I keep thinking of his wife and kids. That's what gets me, because I know he wasn't in any pain. And I also know that Charlie Kirk was a extremely brave Christian, and he inspired me to make this post. He was the opposite of a coward. He said everything he believed and made it be known to people because he loved our country, America, that's going to shit every single day. And let me tell you something about 9/11. Ain't no Muslims did 9/11. 9/11 was done by Israel, the same people that raped those kids on Epstein's Island. All of y'all can go to hell. Israel hates Jesus Christ. They hate Jesus Christ. The nation of Israel hates Jesus Christ. They fit the description of Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, the synagogue of Satan. The nation state of Israel is the synagogue of Satan. You corrupted evil bastards. You did 9/11. You blamed it on the Muslims. Guess what? I love Muslims. You're never going to fool me. Muslims love Jesus Christ. The only people that hate Jesus are the synagogue of Satan, is Israel. And if I didn't say that, I'd be a coward. And people like Charlie Kirk would die for nothing. And no, I don't agree with everything Charlie said, but I love Charlie because he loves Jesus and he said what he wanted to say. He believed in freedom of speech and he died for it. And I'll do the same thing. I'm so sick of this nation. I'm so sick of these lies and these pedophile politicians. Every single one of y'all can rot in hell because you're all a bunch of pedophiles. You're all blackmailed by Israel. Go to hell. This country's going to burn if we don't stand up and take it back.
Oh my goodness gracious. His blood is boiling, and I want to break down his points. Now that we watched the whole thing, I really want to just because I feel like he's saying a lot without saying it, bro. Because he's on this one, and I don't know if he's right, but man, his conspiracies are low-key kind of, shit. Hard for me to denounce it.
I'm so upset about Charlie Kirk's passing. I can't really go to sleep right now. I keep thinking of his wife and kids. That's what gets me, because I know he wasn't in any pain. And I also know that Charlie Kirk was a extremely brave Christian, and he inspired me to make this post. He was the opposite of a coward. He said everything he believed and made it be known to people because he loved our country, America, that's going to shit every single day.
Okay, so number one, saying he's a brave Christian. I mean, I think Bryce is insinuating that, his Christianity got him hurt. I think that's what Bryce is trying to say. His Christianity got him hurt a little bit here. My first question would be like, well, how? I'm not on Bryce's level here, but I'm all ears. So I'm not really doubting when I say how. I'm like, please convince me. And then he says Charlie Kirk, obviously loved America. And so what I take from that is like the people who really speak out about how to bring change to America, or how to make America maybe, no pun on the Trump shit, but, better, right? That maybe, politicians and all that shit, they're not interested in all that conversation and all that rhetoric. And it may be viewed as, dangerous to their views and their agendas that they intend to push. And so when you have somebody who's so dead set and honed in on, how to make this place great again, and is going out having the conversations in a super public format, you can see how politicians might view this as a threat. You can really awaken the masses with what Charlie Kirk was doing. That's what I'll say. When Bryce says he loved America, I think Bryce is also saying he got killed for that. And I mean, we can get into the shooter and shit like that, but I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. I feel like we gotta get through this part first. Bro, Bryce's heart is full of gold, bro. Never seen a bigger heart than Bryce's, I tell you that.
And let me tell you something about 9/11. Ain't no Muslims did 9/11. 9/11 was done by Israel, the same people that raped those kids on Epstein's Island. All of
That's a big one right there. That's a huge statement he's dropping. Now, I can't really say much. I don't want to say much. I've never heard this narrative pushed before. But again, I'm going to say this. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Because how often do we get some bullshit, that goes down and then they blame it on somebody else? I mean, that's a textbook fucking thing. I would love to know. I'm all ears, bro. I'm all ears.
y'all can go to hell. Israel hates Jesus Christ. They hate Jesus Christ. To hell. The same people that raped those kids on Epstein's Island.
So the Jews apparently, I mean, now I don't know much about this, but Bryce is saying the Jews or the Israelis essayed kids on Epstein's Island. I don't know how Bryce knows this. I don't know where his confidence comes from, but I'm just highlighting it right now. I'm putting a highlight marker over that shit that he said because that is fucking intense. Responsible for 9/11 and essaying kids on Epstein's Island.
All of y'all can go to hell. Israel hates Jesus Christ.
That's odd to me because I always thought that the Jews were like, they believed in Jesus and stuff like that. Am I tripping? I thought like the Jews and Christians were kind of low-key like partners. Is this all propaganda shit that like we've been fed? Like I grew up Christian, pretty religious, bro. Like my father made me go to church all the time. I'm pretty sure I was told Jews and Christians are friends. Maybe because Jesus wasn't Israel? Or they say Jesus was a Jew or something like that? They think Jesus is burning in excrement for eternity. Cave Arabs couldn't shut down. I thought they did, but not the extent that Christians do. Can we clarify what? Yes, we are brainwashed. Gerald, that's what it seems like. See, I'm like, this shit is so difficult for me to say because like it's going against what I was taught. Like, but it sounds like that's what Bryce is saying. Like, but then, is it because we're like a Christian nation and hear me out? Is it because we're a Christian nation and we're basically, you know, for lack of better word, in bed with Israel? And like, please don't tell me the fucking Bibles and shit like that are fucking like propaganda. Like, what's going on here? That's what I'm kind of like starting to get into. No, they believe Jesus is in hell burning in excrement for eternity. Gerald believes... Okay, so what I'm saying, Gerald, is exactly what Bryce is saying. Damn, bro. I need to get on Bryce's tip. Like, somebody send me a damn podcast. I mean, people, yeah, it's a lot, bro. The whole thing about like, you know, I always fell back on like Jesus was a Jew, so like, cause I remember, you know, as Christians, as like a Christian growing up, I'm thinking like, you know, they say Mormons go to hell, apparently Muslims do too, right? So growing up, I was like, so what about Jews? And then my dad, I think, was like, nah, Jesus was a Jew, like he grew up in Israel, like he, you know, Jews have the pass, Jews go to heaven too. I'm tripping, dude. Podcast got shut down. He should have never talked about Hitler. We didn't need that part. Sam Hyde. I mean, I'll go listen to Sam Hyde. Charles Carroll. I'll go back and listen to some of this shit. Now, I do know that there's proof Jesus was real. Right? Like, historical accounts as well as, like, scientific proof in a way. And resurrected from the dead. Okay, I mean, let's move on. But man, Bryce is heavy in these accusations here. Jews get the pass because Jesus was one. That's what they be saying, bro.
They hate Jesus Christ. The nation of Israel hates Jesus Christ.
Okay, I have to Google this. 1 second. I have to Google this. Let me just Google it real quick. Does Israel hate Jesus Christ? Oh. Jesus is a central figure in Christianity, but is viewed differently in Judaism, where he is not recognized as the Messiah. No. Jesus is the Messiah. And I believe that's like the most historically backed story, is that Jesus, you know, is the Son of God, risen from the dead, resurrected. I'm going to type in what this person wrote. Let me see it real quick. Burning an excrement for eternity. Do Jews believe Jesus is in heaven? I'm going to say that. Okay, it's not coming up. I got to do the burning an excrement. Burning... Ooh, AI is coming up with an answer, bro. Okay, I haven't found much on that, so we're just gonna finish this again.
They fit the description of Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, the synagogue of Satan. The nation state of Israel is the synagogue of Satan.
What is that Bible verse?
Christ. They fit the description of Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, the synagogue of Satan. The nation state of Israel is the synagogue of Satan.
Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. I know your afflictions and your poverty, yet you are rich. I know about the slander of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Oh. Behold, I will make them the synagogue. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which says they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Damn, that's 2 fucking Bible verses. Wait, hold up. 2:9. I know your afflictions and your poverty, yet you are rich. Israel's rich. I know about the slander of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Oof. Man, heavy stuff, heavy stuff.
Satan. You corrupted evil bastards. You did 9/11. You blamed it on the Muslims. Guess what? I love Muslims. You're never going to fool me. Muslims love Jesus Christ. The only people that hate Jesus are the synagogue of Satan.
Now, what's interesting about Muslims is I think Allah just means Jesus, right? So it's not like Allah's a different God. Like Allah means Jesus. Allah is an Arabic term for God.
Is Israel. And if I didn't say that, I'd be a coward. And people like Charlie Kirk would die for nothing. And no, I don't agree with everything Charlie said, but I love Charlie because he loves Jesus and he said what he wanted to say. He believed in freedom of speech and he died for it. And I'll do the same thing. I'm so sick of this nation. I'm so sick of these lies and these pedophile politicians.
Okay, so he says pedophile politicians. I think that's worth mentioning. Oh, and for the record, before we get into pedophile politicians, yes, verdict is Bryce is cooking for sure. Allah means like only God or true God. Muhammad is their prophet, like Jesus. Okay, all right. Man, we need a full education course. Gerald is qualified in here. It's in the Bible and the Quran. Dude, I'm going to do a deep dive. So basically it's flipped though. Muslims essentially also go to heaven and love Jesus, apparently, according to Bryce. And Christians obviously go to heaven. And Jews are like not going to heaven, I guess. This goes against, like, you know, a lot of, like, the Muslims get that bad rap. It's crazy that Bryce is saying the opposite. And he says he would be a coward if he didn't say that. Is Strickland wrong? No, Strickland's right. Anyone see they claim they have a name on the Kirk shooter? I did see something like that. I could look it up. But I can't believe they didn't catch the guy. Muslims don't regard Jesus the way Christians do. Okay. It's complicated. Very complicated. They don't love Jesus, but yeah, okay. All right. I believe they think Jesus was like a messenger type or prophet type, but not the Son of God or God in any fashion. Got you, got you. Compared to Israelis, it's night and day. The books, man. Man, I gotta look into this stuff, but I don't know where to start. I gotta listen to, I guess, Sam Hyde and somebody else, which I will do. Continuing.
Every single one of y'all can rot in hell because you're all a bunch of pedophiles. You're all blackmailed by Israel. Go to hell. This country's gonna burn if we don't stand up and take it back.
So if they're pedophiles and then he instantly goes in to say they're blackmailed by Israel, that means they go to Israel to become pedophiles? The U.S. politicians? Right? If U.S. politicians are pedophiles and Israel gets to blackmail them, Israel's the one who facilitated the fucking underages. Myron Gaines, I guess, from Fresh and Fit. Nick Fuentes. I'll look into some of this stuff. Let me see if the shooter's been caught. Gene Silverstein is going down. Man, it's crazy because Gene's on this big winning streak, but everybody's picking Diego, low-key including myself. I'm open ears too, Jew. I know Silva says he had a bad pass, but he acts roided out of his mind. Trust me, I thought dude's a cornball, but lately he's been talking nothing but facts by himself. Myron, it surprised me. Alright, Gerald, alright. I can't stop thinking of Charlie Kirk, man. Actually insane. It is insane. I think that the radicalization, of the politics is something, though, that, like, people get so attached to these political views and shit like that. And it's like these politicians, they radicalize you up and they could give a fuck about you, bro. A fuck about you. That's my biggest thing, and people are out here dying and killing people over shit that literally the people that they're dying for or killing for could give two fucks about you, bro. And that's the politicians that I'm speaking about. The politicians out there who you're trying to defend or killing for, right? They could give two fucks about you, but you're over here doing this shit. And that's what I don't like. And the reason why I say they could give two fucks about you is because, like I said earlier, they create problems, right? And then they present you solutions and act like they never created the problem in the first place. They're the one who presented the problem. Stop fucking creating issues so you could push your agendas and shit like that. Now, when you talk about pedophiles and all that stuff, I'm not, super well versed. Suspect being sought in Wednesday's fatal shooting of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk at a public outdoor event in Utah is believed to be a college-aged individual with an apparent proficiency in handling a high-powered rifle and likely knew the layout of the university where the homicide occurred, according to authorities and a former FBI agent. During a news conference Thursday evening, state and federal officials released a new video of the person of interest jumping down from the roof of a building on the campus. The head of Utah Department of Public Safety said the suspect was wearing distinct clothing that could help in identifying the suspect, including Converse sneakers. He said the person seen in the video jumping from the roof left shoe imprints and a palm print. We are investigating everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. The commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety said. Here's the buck right here. I mean, this guy looks old, right? He doesn't look young. He looks old. But they say college-aged. Looks young. Or old. I don't know. Both? Young and old at the same time? No college student is making that shot. I mean, yeah, you don't even have the life, experience Yet to be able to shoot a gun that well, that makes a lot of sense. Takes a badass sniper to pull that off, ex-military type. Look at this guy. Skinny. Yo, who that baddie? Needs some of that Asian persuasion. What's her name? We can go back to it. Oh. Hello. We don't know her name, but shout out to her. Great work. Charlie Kirk was heavily connected to the Republican Party. He was insider. I think they planned on running him for president when he got older. He would have been a good fucking option, I'll tell you that much. His debates were crazy. So far, authorities have received more than 7,000 tips and leads, completed some 200 interviews. Governor Spencer Cox said. So FBI said investigators believe they recovered the weapon used in what the government of Utah on Wednesday called a political assassination. Bulls said the weapon, a high-powered bolt-action rifle, was found discarded in a wooded area near Utah Valley University or in Orem and is being analyzed at an FBI lab for any clues that can identify the gunman. Here he looks a little bit younger. People who are super skinny like this, though, I kind of like don't trust it. I feel like you give off stressed. Look at him walking with his hands clenched. More specifically, multiple law enforcement sources with knowledge of the investigation told ABC News that the weapon is an older model imported Mauser .30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle that was found wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the school. The sources said a spent cartridge was discovered in the chamber of the gun. The gun and cartridge recovered are to be flown to the FBI's main lab in Virginia for the most technology-advanced forensic analysis. Law enforcement sources told ABC News the focus is to look for any latent fingerprints and DNA, the sources said. So they got nothing with this fucking gun and bullets. Unless this guy's been arrested and his fingerprints are left on the gun, but they don't got shit. That gun's not going to be connected to any crimes. It's a fucking old-ass gun. People really got to start putting up bulletproof fucking windows when they go out in public. He looks like a decoy to me. Kirk would have 1,000% been president, no doubt about it. I mean, shit. I watched a 1.5 hour video. He left a great first impression on me. A day ago, they suspected it was 3 other people as well and arrested them and let them go. Damn. Well, yeah, apparently this is the guy. A lot of UFC fighters been like reacting to this shit. But Sean Strickland and Bryce gave the best takes. Without a doubt. Okay, there's a few more. There's a few more. Oh, let's talk about Dana White fucking at the press conference getting pressed about the Boxing Reform Act. Dana got pressed about this Boxing Reform Act, bro. I've never seen anything like this in my life. We can also react to the Canelo face-offs and shit like that. Here it is.
Good evening, everybody. Couple questions for Dana. Dana, this fight, as you said earlier in the week, is set to be the 3rd highest gate in combat sports history. The 2nd biggest gate you've promoted alongside Mayweather-McGregor.
Remember this face right here. This man is a living legend. Living legend.
The top 5 gates in combat sports history come in boxing, and they come in the last 10 years. So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
I mean, it's a great question. It's a great question. Dana's business model has already been sued by class action lawsuits, paying out whatever it is, $275 million. He's got one more, that's playing out right now, and I think one more just recently started that hasn't gone through too much litigation yet. And that same business model he thinks is like correct to bring it to boxing, right? And he's actually trying to reform the Muhammad Ali Act to deploy that business model, because without the Muhammad Ali Act, he can't do shit. He's just like a fucking guppy in a Shark Tank, So the Muhammad Ali Act basically brings everybody down to guppy level, if you will. It honestly, some of it doesn't make sense, the Muhammad Ali Reform Act. Like, so what? If Dana gets this passed, like, there's not another promoter that can come in and do his thing too? Like, somehow Dana's going to own the UBO? Like, why doesn't anybody else own the UBO? Why does Dana get to own it? But here we go, nonetheless.
Well, this is obviously a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me and my business. It's about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
My father.
It's a simple question. Why do you think that this is going to better boxing? If the biggest pay-per-views have happened in the last 10 years, why do you think your business model is going to come in and make it all better? Boxing's doing fine without you.
Follow up, Dana. Earlier this week, the California State Athletic Commission had a hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it. You want to show.
Unanimously ruled against it, by the way. Everybody who fucking called in, they all were not in favor, except for one person, I believe. I don't even think it was except for one person. I think they're all not in favor.
Oh, right.
Andy Foster wanted to end the call early because he said, like, we got enough fucking no's already.
Now, set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
It's America, baby.
If you have questions for these 2, ask them and you can set up an interview with me.
Dana, my follow-up is, if TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it.
Now, name calling is unnecessary. The big question, though, if you can't reform the Muhammad Ali Act, will you still compete in the market? The answer is no, because the market is paying out, $100 million paydays, and Dana doesn't pay that. That's what the market is in boxing, and that's why Dana wants to bring in the Muhammad Ali Reform Act, because he doesn't pay that type of money.
Private, and we can do an interview.
Yes or no?
If you want a showboat, I get it. If you have questions for these 2 that are fighting on Saturday, that's a different story.
Fight.
This isn't a discussion to have at a press conference for these 2 that are going to fight on Saturday, 2 legends.
I mean, it is a boxing press conference. It's a boxing question. You're entering the game as a promoter. This is the first event you're promoting.
If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
You probably won't do the interview, though, Dana. You don't do interviews like this. That's why this fucking question is being asked to you at a fucking, boxing press conference. And it needs to be said, Turkey al-Sheikh, this is karma, too, for trying to suppress boxing scene. Don't ever suppress the media, okay? Boxing scene better be credentialed to every event moving forward. And this is what you get. You're not going to suppress shit, Turkey. Turkey tried to suppress boxing scene. We'll talk about that too in a little bit. But, you suppressed one media outlet. Well, here's another one coming for your fucking throats.
And you can ask me anything you want.
All right. Well, Terence and Saul, have a good fight.
Yeah, you have a question for these 2?
No.
No? Beat it. Go ahead. Who's next?
We have a ring in that.
So, Another big thing that came out of this one. Sean Strickland is his name. Sean Strickland. 100 million plus. So Canelo's getting over 100 million. That's crazy numbers. Over 100 million. See, Dana doesn't pay that. That's what the Boxing Reform Act's trying to do. Dana's basically coming in saying fighters get paid too much money. And, you know, I want to make it so that it's one belt. And I'll pay the guys what I think I should pay them. It's crazy. Like, who are you? I don't think it's going to work, to be honest.
Good evening, everyone.
Let's look at this real quick, though. Let me see. First of all, scope the face off.
Incredible, boys. Thank you.
Here's what I noticed. Canelo looks away first. Then Crawford looks away, so Crawford wins that. Then Canelo's going to go for a handshake.
Awesome.
Then he fucking wraps his arm around him, tries to talk to him. I think Terence is looking more stoic. Here's another angle. Who you got? Canelo or Bud? Canelo or Bud? Team Crawford. I'm Team Crawford. I'm Team Crawford. Canelo, you know, his kryptonite was Floyd early on. I think Crawford's one of the closest things we got to Floyd as far as a black fighter goes. Undefeated black fighter. That's what I'm saying. Well, Louis, to answer your question, right? Dana thinks like this. Dana actually is thinking, instead of the boxers at the top getting paid all the money, I want to disperse it to all the fighters because journeymen in MMA get paid, you know, have made millions, aka Jim Miller, right? Journeymen in the UFC had made millions. Journeymen in boxing would never touch that type of money. So Dana thinks that it should be distributed lower to the card. But I honestly don't get it. Like, okay, so what if Dana, like, if the Reform Act goes through, because Dana proposed it, he gets to own the UBO? I don't know how that works. Like, I feel like, you know, nobody should own that shit. I already know Buckley got Crawford too. Of course he does. Crawford looking dialed. Crawford is one of the GOATs, though. Can I just search Max Kellerman and hopefully it pops up? Max Kellerman absolutely glazing Dana in his fucking Boxing Reform Act and shit. And Canelo had to call him out on it real quick.
Is the greatest and then Dana White. Dana White is the greatest combat sports promoter in my lifetime.
Wipe your mouth, Max, because you got you know, slobber all over it from you know, having Dana's nuts in your mouth.
He built an institution. You know why boxing's not as popular as it used to be anymore, right? UFC is really popular. That's because of Dana White. He built something like the NBA. Stop now, because he's about to do it for boxing again. For boxing now. You want an NBA or an NFL in boxing? Here it.
No, we don't. Honestly, we fucking don't. Get the fuck out of here, dude. This is for the streets. The underground. We fucking run this shit. Everybody always comes running back to us because this is the fucking juice. We hold all the cards. Combat Sports holds all the cards. We don't give a fuck about anything else. UFC included. UFC ain't no fucking NFL. UFC is the fucking streets, bro. We say what the fuck we want to say. No repercussions. We say some of the dirtiest shit. We're not the fucking NFL, NBA. This is a dog sport. Dog sport, bro. Fuck the NFL, NBA type shit. We don't want that. We don't want to be on fucking TV with, like, you know, all these fucking advertisers telling us what the fuck to do. Nah, dude. Everybody comes crawling to us because this is the juice. Fucking talking about the NFL, NBA like they're better than us. Get the fuck out of here. Wait a minute. Canelo's gonna say the same shit I'm saying.
Comes because he knows how to build an institution. And how do you do that?
Hey, Max. Boxing is always bigger and big. Don't say boxing is not big enough. Boxing is big. You know how big is boxing.
Should it get big?
Everybody talks about fighters. Everybody. NBA players, they don't talk about fucking baseball players. They talk about fighters. Baseball players, they don't talk about fucking NBA players. They talk about fighters. Boxing's always been big, bro. We don't need shit from anybody.
Yes or no? Should it get bigger, Canelo?
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be bigger, but look, boxing is always big and big and bigger and bigger and bigger. We need to talk about that too.
This is the hottest take you'll hear, right? Boxing's better than MMA. Boxing's got better stars, okay, than MMA has. They got more stars. They sell more, right? They got bigger pay-per-view sales, right? Fighters get paid more. I had another point too. The media in boxing is better. You know, the swag in boxing is 10 times. Boxing has live performances, all kinds of shit. The only argument against boxing is that people just tune into the main events and the co-main events. Okay. Yeah, no, and they don't hide that for shit. Nobody says tune into the other shit. You know what I mean? That's the norm here. We don't gotta tune into the early fights unless you want to. And we do turn into some of the early fights. You know, Kermel's on earlier in the card. We watched that shit. So, the biggest complaint about boxing is that, they have, like, lackluster early cards. Nobody watches the prelims. I don't give a fuck. They don't tell me to watch the prelims. You know what I mean? There's no advertising going on. Nobody's tripping. That's my hot take, bro. Boxing, if you look at it, not from an entertainment standpoint, I will say UFC is a lot more entertaining for my eyes, and I like the soap opera in the UFC. But I'm just saying, when you look at UFC and you look at boxing, comparing some of the key factors like financials, media, some of that stuff. Star power. I think boxing takes the cake on star power, takes the cake on media, and takes the cake on money, obviously.
Boxing is boxing.
I love Canelo in English, by the way. I love it.
Boxing is boxing.
No lies.
Max Kellerman, I love Canelo in English, by the way. Hey, don't deflect, brother. Don't deflect. We don't, you know what I mean? Let Canelo speak his fucking English. We just said boxing is boxing. It's always been big. We don't need all this shit like you're saying we do.
No comparison.
How do you do it?
There.
So how do you
no
do
comparison, he said.
You have someone like...
My respect for all of their sport. Great job, everything, but boxing is boxing.
There's no comparison, and there never will be. There never will be. Get that straight, Max Kellerman. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where all that glazing with Max Kellerman came from. It's like, dude, how much are they paying you? You're like a journalist. You're not supposed to be getting paid by Turkey or Dana. You're supposed to be getting paid by Netflix, okay, if you're going to be taking money. And, there's no need for you to suck on Dana's balls. There's literally no need for you to do that. Like, who asked you to do that? That has nothing to even do with this event. You're supposed to be hyping up this event. You're hyping up Dana White. Hype up the damn event, Max Kellerman. I know you're a big boxing guy, But you know what I mean? I'm on to you. I'm on to you. I'm watching you a little bit closer now. I'm not just going to give you the cosign. I don't know why you're sucking off Dana like that. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. No clue why. Alright. I think one last thing for the evening. This right here. Isn't he the guy whose brother got killed? To be honest, I didn't know that Kellerman's brother ever got killed. I didn't know that. Dana's getting disinterested in MMA. He's been. Because the fucking media sucks and shit. I don't blame him. And the fighters suck too, dude. They're not stars. They don't even care to become stars. Like, look at boxers trying to grow their name. That whole Vargas brother dynasty type shit. And then compare that to the UFC. And do that with every star. Do that with Caleb Plant. Look how he carries himself. Look at the type of media he posts. Look at the type of lifestyle he's got. Then look at Cheeto Vera's Instagram. Okay? Complete night and day difference. And Cheeto, you know. Okay. Accredited media outlet Boxing Scene has been denied credentials to Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford by Turkey's Riyadh season. Damn, I did not know that about Max Kellerman. No clue. I'll look into that. So here it is. Oh, in case you haven't inferred it yet, Boxing Scene was denied accreditation for Canelo Crawford on Saturday. Lance Pugmire, 2022 recipient of the Boxing Writers Association of America, Nat Flesher Award for Career Excellence, a journalist who has covered boxing professionally for more than 20 years for such outlets as the LA Times, USA Today, The Athletic, who won a first-place prize just last year in the BWAA's annual Bernie Award writing competition, one of 3 first and 18 overall placements for Boxing Scene in 2024, had his credential request as a writer for Boxing Scene turned down, according to a representative of Dana White's TKO Boxing, one of the co-promoters of the event in conjunction with Riyadh Season and Stella. Initially, Pugmire was approved, but less than 2 weeks out from the fight night, the approval was reversed. So just to look at this article, it's actually a super lengthy article, so we're not going to read like all of it, but I'll read the most important stuff. Here's more to it. So people are kind of wondering, like, okay, so is the UFC the one? Like, you know, because Dana's promoting the event. So did like UFC fucking block out media? And they're insinuating, they don't fully say it was Riyadh Season and Turkey, but they basically insinuate it, and you'll see here. Boxing Scene editor Matt Christie subsequently reached out to Chris Belidi, UFC's vice president of corporate communications, to ask why, also calling attention to Pugmire's sterling reputation in the industry and boxing scene's standing as a prominent BWAA accredited outlet. Belidi responded last Tuesday that he would quote-unquote look into it and circle back. On Monday, Belidi wrote back, I don't have specific details, but the denial does not appear to be coming from the TKO side. With an event as complex as this, there are multiple stakeholders involved that have a say in the credentialed media. For example, main event boxer, Canelo, or Riyadh Season. One of those relationships may be strained, but I don't have the backstory. Yes, suffice to say, one of those relationships is strained. This is the treatment Boxing Scene receives when it comes to events handled by Turki Al-Sheikh's Riyadh Season or promoted under the banner of The Ring, the 103-year-old media outlet Al-Sheikh bought last November. My colleague Tris Dixon wrote about it in some detail in April after our website's credential applications for the first Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight went unacknowledged. The response from Belidi is very similar to those received from other promoters when they have been associated with Riyadh Season events to which Boxing Scene has not been welcome. Not our decision. So, you know, boxing scene's trying to get credentialed to Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn. It got ignored, so no response. And apparently they probably reached out for comment too to the promoter. And the promoter said, it's not us. You know what I mean? And there's other people attached to this, like Riyadh season and shit. So last time boxing scene was credited or credentialed for a Riyadh season or ring event, whether a fight card or a press conference, was for Crawford's last bout prior to facing Canelo on August 3rd, 2024 in LA. For 13 months and counting, boxing scene, which has been owned since February 2024 by Pro Box TV promoter Gary Jonas, has been frozen out of anything connected to Al Sheikh and the Saudi General Entertainment Authority. No other promoter has denied boxing scene access. This happens only when Riyadh season is involved, and that represents half the story when it comes to Al Sheikh's enterprises and potential suppression of dissent. So it goes on to say that, last November, Turkey bought the Ring magazine, and he said it was going to be an independent news outlet, and it turns out he's been suppressing his writers and shit like that, basically making sure that they don't write about his events or anything related to him in a negative fashion. And Boxing Scene says they spoke with writers for the Ring magazine who were employed during the Golden Boy era when Oscar De La Hoya owned it, and Oscar De La Hoya welcomed and fully communicated that he understands writers have a job to do, and he welcomed any criticism, any negative commentary about his events, his fighters, or him. So Turki Al Sheikh is not doing that. He's super uncomfortable with negativity or criticism coming his way. And it just shows he's not fit for this, bro. You can't just come in and buy shit. You got to understand how this game works. It's called ethics. Writers have a job to do. They must tell the truth. They must call it fucking down the middle as they see it. So that's what a lot of this is what I just explained to you. So I'll save you guys having to read all these paragraphs. And that is pretty much the stream. Some decent fights. Diego Lopes, Gene Silva. Maybe we're going to have to put some respect on Gene Silva's name after this. We'll see. But alright, boys. Shout out to everybody watching. I mean, if there's anything to discuss, drop it in the comments before I dip out. But I think we hit on all the topics today. Alright, boys. Peace out. Peace out. Everybody who's still in here, like the stream. Subscribe. We're gonna do doubleheader again this weekend. Noche UFC first, and then we're gonna do Canelo Crawford, 2 back-to-back live streams on Saturday. And we also got what's his name, Naoya Inoue fighting. Inoue, who's he fighting? Inoue's fighting Akhmedaliev, so he's fighting a Russian guy, so to speak. 14-1 is Akhmedaliev, 30 years old. This event will take place at 4 a.m. Eastern, so 1 a.m. on Sunday. Ooh, we can watch them all, bro. So I think we will even tune into the Inoue Muradov Akhmedov fight too. Maybe we can tune into that 3 live streams. This event's taking place in Aichi. It's a region in Japan. So 4 a.m. Eastern on Sunday for Inoue Akhmadaliev. Let's see. Okay, last one.
You said John Jones called you, and he apologized. What was that conversation like?
Well, it wasn't a conversation. He reached out. He wrote like a text saying, "Listen, sorry how this all played out or whatever. You know, I want to fight at the White House. I'm serious about that." And just one of those type of.
Has that changed your view?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
So there's no chance he's going to be
No,
on the White
I
House
appreciate it. I appreciate him reaching out and doing that, but I need people I can count on for this fight, and I know who they are. I know who they are not.
Gotcha. You said John.
The only thing I really have to say about this is like John is out here down bad texting Dana saying he's sorry when he fucking played all the cards, you know, and he played his hand how he wanted to play his hand, and he kind of, you know, he said people can get fucked, and as soon as there's a new dangly carrot, aka the White House, John Jones is like, oh, I want to, like I'm sorry, like, but it's like, dude, without the White House, what the hell, like, you, like, what do you like, where do you kind of like get your where do you get off like thinking even an apology is gonna help anything? Like, literally, like, it's as if, like, right, you said the UFC wasn't good enough for you, they got a new shiny toy and you want to play with it and you're coming crawling back. Like, I don't get why you think like an apology is gonna do anything. And I also low-key feel like this, it's like a resemblance of maybe how he handles like a lot of his conflict in his personal life, you know? Just like fucking people over, right? And then just being like, come on, take me back. Like, I'm back now, take me back. Dana's like, dude, we're good. We don't need you, especially for UFC White House. Like, you want to fight? Sure, okay, you can fight. But UFC White House, you can only be a main event. You can't even be an undercard. So, like, you know, it takes you out of it. Stop asking. It doesn't matter anymore. You're out. That's my thoughts. Is it going to be on the White House lawn? I mean, I guess so. I haven't been paying attention to shit about this, though. I'm just like, bro, let's talk about real UFC shit. Like, this White House card is a year away. I mean, I do not want to hear about it for the next 12 months. I honestly don't. So, like, all the reports about it right now, I think it's just like, fucking A, dude. Like nothing's happened. All Dana's got is like approvals for shit. And turns out, right, that article from Wall Street Journal or something like that was completely manufactured too, completely fake. All those details about the White House card that got released earlier this week, that got posted by all the media outlets, it fucking, that was fake. All that shit was fake. None of those details were real. So, I mean, if I were to be posting about that, I would have already posted about fake news. So that's why I'm not even touching this shit until, like, it's, like, you know, signed and official. Like, why would I fucking tell people about the metrics of the octagon or how much it's going to weigh on the lawn? Like, who gives a fuck? Oh my God, the octagon is going to weigh 500,000 pounds on the White House lawn. Oh my goodness. It's going to seat this many people and then other people can watch over here. Like, bro, like, wait for the fucking memo to come out or something. They can fight on the lawn like street beefs. That's what it should be, bro. That's what it fucking should be. Fuck that fucking 500,000 pound octagon. You know? So yeah, Dana, I mean, I'm actually really happy Dana's sticking to his guns here. The thing I would hate to see the most is if Dana accepts John's apology and John ends up getting his way and headlining the White House card, because John's gonna be like, see, all my begging worked, and he's never gonna learn his fucking lesson. Please, Dana, do not give John the White House opportunity. We don't even need a fucking American headlining it. We don't even give a fuck. Not John Jones. He's not the one. I'm not sure if they will let Trump do it for security reasons. Yeah, I mean, let's see if the White House card will get approved. I have no clue. We're so far out. Imagine if that shit doesn't end up going down. Like, Dana's like, you know what? It's not working. We're not getting approval like we want it to. All the accounts that have been posting this shit day after day. What a waste of your time, boys. Food for thought. All right, everybody. Appreciate all of you watching the stream. If you're still here, subscribe and like the video. Pretty please. And I got clips dropping, but we're just, YouTube's kind of glitching right now. A little behind the scenes. I've been trying to download my lives so that I could post some clips from it. But YouTube is lagging. It's just stuck processing for everybody right now. So I'll get some extra content out tomorrow and shit like that. More SD Dumas clips dropping tomorrow. Shout out to everybody who watched the live. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe. And doubleheader on Saturday. Potentially a triple header. Today's Friday. I think we'll do a live stream. Or today's Thursday. I think we'll do a live stream on Friday. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon, depending on what kind of news hits. Peace out, boys. Peace out.